Dollar. Dirt and money, no soul. Had to go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack and flip for my foes. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me watch out for my partners. Keep my money low, get my team strong. Let me run away from my problems.
Yo, what's good, original crew, man? We're back. New Patrick CC.
Sorry.
Listen to him.
I hear him.
Listen to this track. We got two rappers confess to the same crime. Only one is guilty. Hey. With that being said, before we get into it, man, make sure you check out the links in the description box.
Down below.
You already know where to go. If you want to first support, all you got to do is check out down below. Also, if you enjoyed today's visuals,
knocking it with a thumbs up.
Confess to the same crime,
but only one guilty. What crime?
From which perspective? I kind of know which crime he's trying to hint to.
Is it the one?
One went to court for the situation, the other one don't. But I really want to see how he's gonna spin to it. And I'll say this: everybody probably can't see how everybody.
I'm listening.
Nothing. I'm gonna see how Patrick displays his thoughts about it. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right.
Two extremely famous rappers admit to committing the same horrible crime at the height of their popularity. Rick Ross's admission was in 2013, and Cardi B 6 years later in 2019. Rick Ross received an incredible amount of backlash. Tens of thousands of petitions signed and hundreds of people standing outside of the Reebok headquarters demanding them to terminate their endorsement deal with the rapper. Cardi B, on the other hand, received tons of support from her fans and the media, breaking down all of the nuances of her crime and why it was okay. Today we are going to take a look at both of these situations and examine exactly why Cardi B was perceived as a victim and Rick Ross was perceived as guilty in the court of public opinion. Starting.
That's what I meant in the beginning. It depends on where are you going for your information and how you viewing it. I know the line Papa Molly and her drink, she didn't even know it.
Oh, that
line. And then Cardi supposedly drugged, but then she get sent to court for that too in that situation. I don't know. I know she went to court for something.
And that was the thing. I figured that's what we was talking about, like the drug thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, dang, I can't remember anything that happened behind it.
Who, with Cardi?
With Cardi.
A lot of people expose Cardi. A lot of men and women have publicly spoke on social media.
No, I know that.
But what I mean by that is it depends on who are you following,
get your information from. What source are you getting your information from? Is that what you're trying to say?
Let me just put it like this. Patrick might not be following. He probably doesn't follow in the line of black media, black social media, right? He's probably not looking in those platforms. A lot of black people in our community, that's what we're following. I have seen a lot of people scrutinize Cardi and Rick Ross for years for both of those situations. I've seen men and women bring up Cardi B about drugging. Right,
I have too. That's why I said.
But I'm saying from Patrick's perspective, he probably ain't following the same demographic of people we're following. He's not probably in the same realm of conversation that we're in.
Well, let's see. We only 35 seconds in.
I'm saying for you to make this video, you 9 times out of 10 are not seeing the things that we see. I don't see everything he sees.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people who are watching this video. I don't see on my social media platforms that I follow same stuff y'all see. That's just how the algorithm works.
Yeah.
But amongst my community and the people I see, both parties have been called out. Not as far as the protesting wise with Cardi, but you know what I'm saying? But you can. You want to let me elaborate well?
Because I forget, so I'm good. I just be trying to piggyback off what you said at that moment because I will forget. But it probably will come to me.
Rick Ross. In March of 2013, a rapper by the name of Rocco released a remix of his song UOENO alongside Future and Rick Ross. UOENO is not an acronym but rather a slurred slang term representing a phrase, you don't even know it. At the 2-minute and 10-second mark in the song, Rick Ross says, "Put Molly all in her champagne, she ain't even know it. I took her home and I enjoyed that, she ain't even know it." Listeners were shocked to hear Rick Ross directly confess to drugging a woman and then insinuating that they had sex after. It's hard to interpret this bar as anything other than a confession. At first, this was just a crazy lyric that made you and your buddies look at each other in disbelief, but the song was getting more and more popular, making the rounds on social media and in the clubs. As more people were exposed to the specificity and boastfulness of Rick Ross's delivery, they felt like they had to speak out. First, a petition calling for Rick Ross to, quote, publicly apologize for glorifying drugging/R-wording a woman was posted to change.org. The organizer wrote, this should be investigated further and he should be prosecuted. With only 1,294 signatures, it didn't have a large enough impact. Then, Rosa Clemente, who was the 2008 vice presidential candidate of the Green Party, posted a YouTube video criticizing the rapper.
This is disgusting, to say the least. This lyric is obviously promoting not just date, but and culture and violence against women. We live in a society that by the time African American women and Latina women are 18, almost half of them, 44%, have been sexually abused.
From there, more media personalities use their platform to encourage people to speak out against Ross.
Sex without consent
is what you should know.
Sex without consent is rape. That's what we know.
Rick Ross, it's a shame that you don't know.
The controversy spread like wildfire. Every major news outlet started to chime in. When Ross responded to the controversy, he did more harm than good. On the New Orleans radio station Q93.3 FM, he said, I want to make sure this is clear. That woman is the most precious gift known to man. You understand? There was a misunderstanding with a lyric, a misinterpretation. The term rape wasn't used. I would never use the term rape in my records. As far as my camp, hip-hop don't condone that. The streets don't condone that. Nobody condones that. So I just wanted to reach out to all the queens that's on my timeline, all the sexy ladies, the beautiful ladies that had been reaching out to me with the misunderstanding. We don't condone rape and I'm not with that. Ross claiming that this...
He should have had a female PR write him up for a statement, man. Sometimes, hey, you still need a PR on your team. You need a male and a female PR. You know what I'm saying? Just for both situations, you just gotta keep people like that on the payroll. Because honestly, he could have said a lot of things very differently, and could have cleaned it up a lot better. But this being your first response out, and it was like that,
because it's kind of like
it shows like a PR presence,
and it's kind of like, oh no, y'all just misinterpreted. That ain't what I meant. But you said what you said, so I'm confused. Let us know what you meant then. Like, I don't need you, my beautiful queens. I don't need all that. Didn't ask for it. You know what I'm saying?
That's that Playboy trying to talk. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know how dudes be like, try to Playboys out of it. You know how?
Yeah, I know.
You know how like a pimp mistreat a hooker, and then later on you gotta talk her up so she can. But you still disrespected her already.
Right. You still did whatever you did to hurt her, whatever the case may be. So I'm confused. But okay.
Lyric was all a misunderstanding, and then shouting out the sexy ladies just fueled even more outrage. Hip-hop outlets began speaking out against him.
Guys, Rick Ross has come to a crossroads. He is a great artist, good dude. He put me on his mixtape. I love the guy. But he's got to step up right now and do the right thing. And that right thing is a thorough and sincere apology about...
But y'all got to do the right thing, too, as radio personalities and DJs that's on the club. Doing the right thing, if y'all really, truly believe...
It's to not...
Let me...
Go ahead.
If y'all truly believe what was said in the record was wrong and incorrect, not tell him he has to step up and do the right thing. Y'all have to do the right thing as well and never play the song ever again. Because every time y'all play this song, y'all also putting fuel to the fire and low-key endorsing it as well. Because if you playing a song, you know what I'm saying? Like, or are we going to chunk it up to like everything else? Or it's just hip-hop? Because if that's the case, like, if we are going to argue about this line, we need to argue about a lot of lines when it comes down to music. Because also... We're in rap music, we could condone pimping, sex trafficking, drugging, murdering. We need to call it all out. We can't like in a let's be real, in hip hop community, we pick and choose what to call out, what not to call out. Not saying all those all crime is crime.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I feel you. I get what
call it all out. Call it all for its effed up community of society of thinking of people. Because it's bad to point out one thing, but
let's sweep everything else on
everything else cool, bro. We can all continue to talk about murdering and dissing the dead, and you know what I'm saying.
Stuff, yeah.
I'm the biggest dope boy. We can promote drugs. You know what I'm saying. That's still turn away at the minority community. We talking about the minority community. Let's talk about it in full circle.
Yeah.
Do the right thing, and that right thing is a thorough and sincere apology about the lines that made people think he was endorsing date.
Ross's peers, such as Talib Kweli, began speaking out against him.
I don't care if Rick Ross is 40 years old. He's a misguided 40-year-old person. When we embraced him, we have to embrace him with love. Everything everyone's saying about that line is correct. Rick Ross condoned in that song, and he shouldn't, and he should apologize. And his apology that he offered was unacceptable.
So he apologized again. On April 4th, 2013, he tweeted, "I don't condone apologies for the #lyric interpreted as #boss." This was his second attempt at an apology, but still sticking to his belief that you, the listener, misconstrued his words, and he didn't say anything wrong. Whereas many argue that there is no other way to look at this lyric, like Adam Howard from The Griot, who said, "There's no way to argue that he's not describing rape." Most other hip-hop songs describing sexual contact, while still often misogynistic, at least leave room for a listener to believe that women are consenting parties. But in this case, listening to a man gleefully rhyme about drugging someone and having sex with her while she's unconscious feels like an alarmingly pointed threat. Critics were tired of Rick Ross's inability to accept responsibility, especially the National Organization for Women in New York City, who rallied in hundreds outside of the Reebok headquarters in New York, asking them to disband their partnership with Rick Ross.
It is a hate crime to be out there making fun of, making light of drugging and raping women, something that happens all too often in our culture.
These are actually 72,000 petitions signed by our members all over the country, and there are also comments from people about why they feel like Reebok needs to drop Rick Ross.
Rick Ross is a disgrace to humanity. This guy's a joke. How do you say, I slipped her Molly, went home and enjoyed that, and she didn't even know, and then say you didn't mean to condone rape? He knew exactly what he's saying. The fact of the matter is he's just a coward, and now he's trying to avoid dealing with it.
Just a few days after the protest, Rick Ross was officially dropped from his multi-million-dollar endorsement deal. The company made a statement. "While we do not believe that Rick Ross condones sexual assault, we are very disappointed he has yet to display an understanding of the seriousness of the issue or an appropriate level of remorse." They continued, "At this time, it is in everyone's best interest for Reebok to end its partnership with Mr. Ross." I guess Ross was hoping the outrage would eventually die out, because it was after Reebok dropped him that he finally made a formal apology. My choice of words was not only offensive, it does not reflect my true heart, and for this, I apologize. To every woman that has felt the sting of abuse, I apologize. I recognize that as an artist I have a voice, and with that, the power of influence. To the young men who listen to my music, please know that using a substance to rob a woman of her right to make a choice is not only a crime, it's wrong, and I do not encourage it. Now, rappers have been spitting extremely controversial lyrics for decades. In a 2001 song called Fight Music by D12, rapper Bazaar said, "I hate you, I'll take your drawers down and ape you," while Dr. Dre videotapes you, which is extremely blatant and descriptive. Eminem has a laundry list of descriptive admissions of crimes. I mean, at this point, what rapper hasn't glorified or admitted to some heinous crime?
Don't say it like
Many
that.
people argue that none of these lyrics can be taken.
Don't say it like that, and then but make a whole first part of it. You know what I'm saying? Like let's put fuel to the fire on everything. Like it's like.
What you said, don't say it like that. It's like
slip it like, oh yeah, all of them I did it, but
so hey,
but we really gonna point out Rick Ross to be real. Not saying neither one worse than the other, but that really was crazy. Mm-mm. That's crazy. That line right there, like D12. If you know about D12. You don't, you know about D12, right? But that line was crazy. And then to say Eminem got something, but sweep that on the road. You know what I'm saying? But also...
And that also goes back to kind of like what you said earlier, even with picking and choosing what crimes, because, you know, they all do talk about it, but it also picking and choosing who you want to attack, who you feel like, whatever the case may be. Like, let's put it all on the table.
Yeah.
Everyone. Like, we're not just going to be like, oh, well, they didn't mean it like that. They're not that type of person, but this person means it like that. Like, they still said what they said. So, I mean, I don't get it.
Because if we really want to go there, like let's not forget. Well, I ain't gonna. Not in a political sense, but when Donald Trump said what he said, Kadona grab her by the is endorsing SA, right? Mm-hmm. So why we're not putting more fuel to the fire about that saying? Because that's very much so in the person that was the president endorsing SA.
Yeah, that
should be way bigger push into national headlines. Y'all should be protesting about that as well, for somebody who's be the leader to say some stuff like that.
Yeah,
that's not.
And people like, well, people did make a big deal. People say,
but not
at
like
the end
that.
of the day, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
come on.
Like the same way we putting P Diddy on blast right now for all this stuff. Like, it's a lot of stuff being swept on the rug with everybody. Like, let's point out a spade a spade. Like, we can't pick and we need to stop as a society picking and choosing which celebrity or which entity is more the one we want to target as far as making coverage about. We need to make coverage about it and awareness about it, about everybody.
Across the board.
Yeah.
Leave it all in the bud, child.
Seriously, because they are made up to represent a character or persona that doesn't represent the reality of the rapper.
He raps about drug selling, drug trafficking, being a boss, violence. That's what his brand is about. That's what he raps about.
Rick Ross is quite literally a stolen name from a real 1980s drug kingpin, Ricky Donald Ross, aka Freeway Rick. The rapper Rick Ross's entire persona is fake, but based on a real criminal. Many people use the argument that if music lyrics should be taken seriously, then why is there no outrage when rappers rap about robbing, shooting, and murdering people? But there is a very specific reason why this particular line from Rick Ross garnered so much backlash, and that's due to a shifting cultural perception on these types of crimes after 2 Ohio teens raped a girl and basically got off with a slap on the wrist. On March 17th, 2013, just 1 week before Ross's lyric blew up, 2 teens in Steubenville, Ohio were found guilty of rape. But the way these teens had absolutely zero empathy or regard for the victim was a shocking wake-up call for the realities of these horrible crimes. The 2 teens were promising football players who were beloved by the small Ohio town. At a party, a 16-year-old girl drank more than she could handle, leading to her blacking out multiple times, only waking up to vomit. The defendants eventually brought her into the back of a Volkswagen, where Trent May, quote, proceeded to flash the girl's breasts and penetrate her with his fingers, while another football player videotaped it on his phone. Malik Richmond, the other defendant, took his turn violating the girl with his fingers. Although there was no penile penetration, any sexual conduct where the person is unable to give consent in the state of Ohio does constitute as rape. Then, compromising and explicit photos of the girl were shared on the internet, and some of the witnesses mocked her even more on Twitter. The police were notified about the crime a couple days later. They were given a flash drive of evidence, including the post shared on social media, but the police said the case was challenging, partly because too much time had passed since the suspected rape. All of the local press about the situation appeared to be biased towards the boys, discussing their football dreams and how important football is to the community.
Lots of kids in town grow up hoping, wishing one day they could play for Big Red football. Were you one of those kids?
Yes, I was.
And then there's Trent. His father, Brian, a football coach, says there's football in his son's DNA.
One of his dreams since he was a kid was to play quarterback for Steubenville.
As one of Steubenville's football coaches told the...
Ain't this where your folks at?
Some of them.
Some of them. Okay. Because when he said, I was like, ain't that where your people at? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I ain't gonna get into all that because that's political as crap, and we try to stay away from that. But you can read between the lines, man. Like, it ain't that hard to see.
I could definitely go on and on.
Yeah.
You know.
New York Times, quote, "The rape was just an excuse, I think. What else are you going to tell your parents when you come home drunk like that after a night like that? She had to make up something. Now people are trying to blow up our football program because of it." Just like the Rick Ross outrage slowly grew bigger, this story took on a life of its own as larger publications started to write about it. The anonymous hacker group leaked personal information of 50,000 Ohio residents that they believed were helping obstruct the investigation. They also leaked a video that was taking place that night, when a small group of friends, including the defendants, videotaped themselves bragging and laughing about the crime.
She's dead because there was a naked picture on her, laying in the butt, and she wasn't moving. There's usually a reaction to that.
The boys proceeded to laugh and make fun of the girl on camera for 12 minutes straight. This video went extremely viral, with people all around the world demanding justice for the victim. Many people referred back to the abhorrent mentality of these boys when criticizing Rick Ross's lyrics, whereas others felt like blaming a rapper's lyrics was merely a cop-out, and outraged people should be pointing fingers at parents. Then Anonymous organized the hashtag Occupy Steubenville protest, which got over 1,000 people to protest this case. Finally, because of the outrage, the case went to trial, and the boys were found guilty. Trent Mays, who's 17, was sentenced to serve at least 2 years in the state juvenile system. The other, Malik Richmond, 16, was sentenced to serve at least 1 year. Although it took thousands of outraged people on the internet to escalate this issue for them to receive justice, many believe that the punishment for these teens was not enough, perpetuating the reality that these types of crimes are not taken as seriously as they should be. And then 1 week after this guilty verdict that people are outraged about, Rick Ross has an extremely popular song that people see as glorifying this same horrible crime. It was a recipe for disaster. Yet despite all the backlash, this didn't even have any long-lasting impact on Rick Ross's career, or even the song. UOENO debuted at number 99 on the Billboard Hot 100 3 weeks after Ross was dropped by Reebok, and by July 20th, it peaked at number 20 on the Hot 100. They even released a visual to the song a few
It peaked because y'all kept going to it to listen to it and listen to it and listen to it. See, here go the lyric, and then yo rewind it.
Especially if you already listened to it, like that. I didn't even. Let me go listen to it, and then
I ain't even talking about that part. I'm talking about the fact that a lot of people who are said they don't like the song and they don't like the lyric. Yeah. Now they sharing it to multiple people, saying, "Hey, you got to hear this." But y'all putting more money into the pocket. Y'all pushing it. Y'all pushing a song instead of saying, "Hey, this song should not." Not even that, because you still bringing awareness to the song, and it still pushes it even more. You know what I mean?
However you look at it.
Like that's the negative backlash about when you. But like you said, also I didn't even know it was in there. And
like, because people just listen, but a lot of people don't really be listening to what you're saying or the lyrics or whatever the case may be. They just listen. Yeah. You know, and then when things get out and people like, he said that? I didn't even realize.
Well, let me play it. I'm gonna show you too. I'm gonna stop it right. And then now,
and then, like you say, you sharing it to people. You constantly listening. People that probably never didn't even hear the song or paid attention to the song. Now they're going to listen, and it's just a repeated cycle.
Instead of just putting it into it, just nah, cut it off.
Yeah.
We ain't playing that no more. The radios, y'all are spinning it because it's publicity, and boom. Instead of just killing the song, and it would have died off, and they would have, EXO, we gotta, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's ways to kill a song than, I'd rather kill a song than protest the song and make it more public.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Later that depicts a woman drinking a spiked drink and begins spiraling before Rick Ross takes her home. And even though Reebok dropped him, he has still managed to secure tons of multi-million-dollar business deals that he reaps the benefits of still to this day. Have you seen this guy's house? He is doing just fine. At the end of the day, Rick Ross does have deniability that what he said was fiction, as it was just a part of a song. Cardi B, on the other hand, does not have that deniability, because she admitted to drugging multiple people on an Instagram Live. However, the reason she did it is what caused many to shower her with support rather than outrage. On an Instagram Live in 2017, rapper Cardi B was discussing the struggles that she went through to survive in the streets of New York City.
Niggas must have forgot, my nigga, the shit that I did to motherfucking survive. Like, I had to go straight. I had to go, oh yeah, you wanna f*** me? Yeah, let's go to this hotel. out and I drum niggas up and I rob them. That's what I used to do.
Just like Rick Ross.
I hate when people like, y'all must have forgot what I had to do to survive. I had to go to the strip club. A choice. A choice.
Yeah.
Like, all your actions, like, and that's the reason why it's hard to sympathize with certain people about, like, certain things. Because you could have chose to survive, I had to go work at McDonald's. I had to go actually get a regular job.
Yeah.
And I had to put in those hours to work. But I made the choice to go strip. Did nobody point a gun to your head until you go strip?
Yeah.
Like, you could have went out here and got a simple job like the rest of us. You could have went out to school like the rest of us. Don't say, oh, my GPA was low. I barely got into college, and I still finished and got a degree.
Blessed.
So, you said what?
I said blessed.
Oh, don't. I'm not a dummy.
No, baby.
I was just wild in school. I come from always getting expelled, always getting kicked out. Like, never can... Yeah, I came from... no. So, that's the reason why I'm so hard on a lot of people, because I'm like, nah, you can't throw me that, because I've been at the bottom where people didn't expect me to be anything in life. So when somebody come out here and say, I had to do this, I'm like, no, it was a choice.
Yeah, definitely a choice. Because my thing is, I'm like, okay, if I'm in a situation, like if I was in your shoes and I feel like I had to go to the club again, which is a choice, and I had to dance to make money or whatever the case may be, the outside of it, like going back to hotels to have, intercourse and all the other type of stuff, it's a choice. My thing is, if I feel unsafe doing that, then I'm going to keep my business just in this club. I'm not going to go to a hotel with someone I don't know just to get extra money, cool, whatever. And I feel like I have to drug them just to get whatever I'm getting out of it, which is money.
Or even this. Even if you feel like working at the strip club was a horrible decision, but I had to do what I had to do. Their call center jobs, their warehouse jobs. You just choosing not to work.
Just at the end of the day, there's other options.
There's always other options.
If I feel like I gotta drug you and rob you, baby, then that's not for me, because I'm just not that. I'm not that person.
B admits to drugging people, but specifically she said drugging men and robbing them. For more context, Cardi B was a stripper before she was a rapper, and in this instance she was describing situations where men would try to solicit sex from her in strip clubs, to which she would say yes. Then she would drug them and rob them. But this Instagram Live didn't go viral until 2 years after it was recorded. In March of 2019, it resurfaced via Twitter and sparked outrage online. Hashtag Surviving Cardi B began trending worldwide on Twitter, which was a reference to the Surviving R. Kelly docuseries that detailed all of the horrific sex crimes committed by the R&B singer. Cardi B quickly tweeted, "I never claimed to be an angel. I always been a street bitch. Y'all be glorifying these street rappers that talk and do the grimy shit, but then they can't stand a street bitch." Then she continued to gloat about how people are trying to cancel her. "I'm that bitch they love to hate. I'm that bitch they hate to love," when they try to cancel me on Twitter and Instagram. Critics felt like she was taunting them, which just added fuel to the fire. Redditors unleashed a firestorm of criticism, including this post on the subreddit Black People Twitter, calling the rapper Cardi B Cosby. The post read, "She better get the Bill Cosby treatment or gender equality doesn't exist. This so stupid she called this hard work." As many of you know, Bill Cosby was accused by 60 women of rape, sexual assault, and sexual harassment. And less than a year before Cardi B's post went viral, he was not only rightfully vilified for his disgusting actions, but found guilty and jailed for his crimes. Cardi felt like her words were being twisted and lacked context, so she posted a lengthy response on social media explaining her point of view. There are rappers that glorify murder, violence, drugs, and robbing, crimes they feel they had to do to survive. I never glorified the things I brought up in that live. I never even put those things in my music because I'm not proud of it, and feel a responsibility not to glorify it. I made the choices that I did at the time because I had very limited options. I was blessed to have been able to rise from that, but so many women have not. The men that I spoke about in my live were men that I dated and was involved with, men that were conscious, willing, and aware. After the rapper's response, major media outlets began to clarify and highlight the quotes where she said that she was doing what she had to do to survive. There were no protests, no demanding of a deeper apology, no attacking her sponsors. For Cardi's fans and business partners, they weren't surprised to hear this information since she never hid who she was from the people.
I'm a rapper. That came from the streets, that came to the industry. I wasn't a Disney Channel star. I wasn't a nun. I wasn't a saint. I never was a saint. Okay? Let me tell you something. I'm a good-hearted person, but I have done fucked up shit.
For many women and fans of the rapper, they understood her struggle and were ready to move on. Even Rick Ross told people to leave Cardi alone.
Like I say, leave Cardi B alone. Because
man, if y'all going to rappers nowadays for inspiration and motivation and this is who I look up to, y'all looking up to the wrong motherfuckers in the world. I ain't gonna hold you. Ain't no damn rapper ever been even going back to folks, man, my idol was Tupac. Fuck no. No disrespect, no, you know what I'm saying, RP, but hey, I can't idolize a rapper, bro. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like what are we doing? And honestly, if we can really point out one of the main reasons why Cardi B won't be held like responsible for the crimes that she has committed, there's no victims willing to come forward.
Yeah. And
typically in our culture, even hip hop culture or minority culture, typically men are shamed for coming forward. Yeah, about situation like that. You know what I'm saying?
I've been this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying?
It's more looked upon as approving for women, but then they try to scrutinize and attack the woman for coming out and saying something. Because, oh, man, you won't supposed to send another black man to jail. But y'all also don't hold another black man responsible for the bullshit he does. Yeah. But then when a black man comes out and say, hey, I've been SA or I've been attacked some type of way, we clown them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
which is sad.
From women and men. Predominantly from men, because men won't have support behind that. They be like, man, how you gonna let her, like, you can't control that for somebody drugging you. You have no control. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So you can't attack someone for being, you can't attack someone for being a victim. Same way with men and women. We can't shame them for being a victim. They had no control of the situation then, but she could have did this. She had no control of the actions that were done upon her. Yeah. Or him. Like, if we can speak on it, what Meek Mill going through. If he is truly a victim, because we don't know the truth. We wasn't there. All we see is some paperwork, but y'all gotta also don't act like people don't lie about paperwork just for the lawsuit too. Like, people will lie and put a lot of lies just to make money. That's the reason why a lot of times, if there's one lie in a story, that lawsuit never goes through. So if there is a true victim in there, that victim doesn't get justice because you decide to lie about something. Yeah. But if Meek Mill is truly a victim, why are we shaming him? Why we should be like, damn, bro. Facts. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't have went through that.
And then now you feeling like, oh, damn, it done got out. You feeling ashamed. Yeah. You feeling whatever. Feeling like you have to defend you being, whatever happened. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
And he's like over defending himself because you have a lot of these people on social media who wants to ha-ha and kiki for a click and a view instead of sympathizing and say, man, the music industry is a fucked up industry. Yep. And it's just, but y'all rather get y'all jokes off for a click, a like, or retweet, or share, instead of also showing sympathy for people. We are human beings at the end of the day.
Whole entertainment industry.
Like, come on now. Music, like, but yeah, most like, y'all gotta stop that. You know what I'm saying? But the men, for sure, if Cardi did 100% do stuff, it won't be no justice because the men won't come out and say anything because they're gonna get
that. And also, because again, I know about it, especially, but I don't think I ever heard as far as like what type of drug was being used to do whatever. So I'm wondering, do they even like remember what happened or that this happened or hey, wake up in this hotel? How I get here? You know what I'm saying? Do you even remember anything? So that's sad in itself.
And y'all gotta also stop supporting these celebrities just because you feel like, oh, she come from the same background that I come from. We hard on niggas. Stop it. Grow up. It's a lot of immaturity and ignorance just going around and being spreaded. And then it's passed down from generation to generation. That's the reason why we see in a society of youth right now that's loose, wild. Character building starts at home.
Facts.
We don't need to persecute her for her past. We need to be leaders. and lead by example. And regardless of what you did in the past, if you stole a car in the past, that don't mean you shouldn't be able to get money in the future. As long as you change your ways, and we all know Cardi B focused on the money now, and she is a leader.
But it seemed like mostly men who were not fans of Cardi B to begin with were outraged at the lack of further outrage. Change my view. If Cardi B was a man, we would be boycotting her music and her career would be destroyed. To which people countered that most other male rappers have had extremely public controversies that didn't destroy their careers. Chris Brown's long history of assault has not hindered his career. Dr. Dre has a history of accusations that have not hindered his career. 6ix9ine pleaded guilty to the use of a child in a sexual performance, which was well known even during his popularity. And as we detailed before, Rick Ross did lose out on some money, but ultimately it had no long-standing impact on his career. Another post went viral on the subreddit Unpopular Opinion. Cardi B drugging and robbing men makes her a predator. Now, it actually took months for Cardi B to clarify that she didn't have sex with these men, which was a huge reason why Redditors were so angry. She was alone in rooms with men who thought they were going to have sex with her, since she told them that she would. Then she drugs them into unconsciousness, which is enough evidence for some people to assume that she could have also raped them, but Cardi denies this.
Have actually sex when you touch somebody without their consent. I never nobody. Let me tell you something. I never ever wanted none of these niggas.
An online comment read, "No one..."
Drugging someone at the end of the day is still wrong, whether you sexual assault them or what and fuck ever. Yeah.
I know, and I'm about to say, and I think that's why people like was okay with whatever happened. It's because, oh, she said she didn't, have sex or nothing happened sexually. She just drugged them, robbed them, and then got her money, went on.
But let's peep
But at
this.
the end of the day, like, wrong is wrong. Whatever, regardless if take the sex out, cool, whatever. But you still drugging someone without their consent, without them knowing, unwillingly, and robbing them and leaving them there. Something could have happened. Anything could have happened. Someone could have. Anything. I'm just gonna say anything could have happened.
Let's also say this: you could have drugged someone, and then not knowing their background, they might not even be on drugs already, and then they get drugged at one time, and now they need it, and then they become drug addicts because of the fact. Now you have altered somebody's whole life over your selfish decision, or somebody did not wake up.
Anything. Somebody could already be on medications and you mixing whatever you drugging them with. People can have anything. I'm sorry. Anything could have happened. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, no matter how wrong is wrong. And I feel like that's what people fail to realize. Like, oh, it's okay because we took this out of it and it was just this, but this person did this. At the end of the day, like, what's the difference? You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, as saying someone, can't say the other word, but the R word, definitely that is far. I'm not even going, that's definitely bad. Like, however you want to put it, but still, at the end of the day, that's wrong as well. Drugging and robbing someone. So,
and y'all gotta quit giving these uneducated ass people platforms to speak on things, because these.
And I'm not the type of person, I ain't judging nobody or whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, I'm still going to call you out on your bullshit. Yeah. And it just is what it is.
About male victims when it comes to these types of situations. They say, well, that's what his horny ass gets for going to a hotel room with a woman he just met. Let it have been a male rapper who was drugging women, though. Sex crimes against men are more common than people think, but there is an assumption that men don't care or that they can't be sexually assaulted because of gender-based stigmas. And at this time, the Me Too movement and the Believe Women movement was at an all-time high. So many people just automatically believed Cardi when she said that she wasn't sexually assaulting anyone, and rather just hustling them for their money. But the outrage calling for her to be cancelled continued throughout the years, until someone found another old video of her where she explains a hypothetical situation where she describes setting up a sexual assault.
I'm gonna take him out, we're gonna get drunk, I'm gonna get him all perked up and everything, we're gonna have a good time. Get him super twisted, then bring a bitch around. We're gonna have a threesome. And when he wake up, he gonna be like, what the f? Yeah, because the bitch was a tranny. I'm be like, yup, we had a threesome with a tranny. Yup, a tranny suck your dick. You don't gotta fuck another nigga to get even, bitch. There's other ways to get.
This is a case of...
Oh, hell no. And then, you know how you playing, that's playing with fire right there. Yeah. That's crazy, bro.
I didn't do it, but if I did do it, this is how I would do it. The descriptiveness of the situation is hard to interpret as just a joke. This was enough evidence for detractors to confirm that she was a predator. So when they saw this tweet in 2023, they felt like she had no right to speak on the matter. This world is full of predators. They prey on the innocent, the ones who are most unknowing, our children. Predators could be our neighbors, our school teachers, even people with money, power, and our churches. Constantly talk with your kids about boundaries and what they shouldn't allow people to do to them. And with the entire internet calling her a hypocrite, she dug a deeper hole as she spoke about the situation yet again.
And now people want to come at me like, oh, you're the wrong messenger. You're the wrong messenger. Then you rob and drug men. And it's like, listen. Y'all not going to keep doing this, because when it comes to weird-ass predators and rapists and pedophiles and shit, I'm really like, I don't play that shit. I really don't play that shit. And then y'all be like, you drug and rob them. Did I touch their body? Did I touch their penis? Did I touch their ass? Did I touch them? Did I put my lips on them? No. No type of touching. Don't confuse. And even if y'all claim, oh, you robbed them, what's robbing and raping is two different type of shit. So don't call me no. Don't call me no predator. Don't play with my name like that, because I don't play that.
Cardi stays firm in her stance that she was never sexual with these men, but she does wholeheartedly admit that these men deserve to be robbed. However, there is a third opinion that the vast majority of people hold for Cardi B. Cardi B came in the game during the Vine era, promoting herself as a gang-affiliated stripper. Her off-the-wall persona made her who she is. You can't ask what can she say or do that would get her cancelled, because she's been talking and acting crazy from the jump. LOL at bringing up her drugging and robbing men. Yeah, well, she told us from the jump she was a blood. What do you think bloods do? Sell Girl Scout cookies? No, they commit crimes. Most people love to point out the double standards and hypocrisy. They simplify the situation as man do bad thing, get big trouble, and girl do same bad thing, no consequences. But the truth is, there is tons of nuance to consider when assessing any type of crime, social issue, drama, or whatever you want to call this. No two situations are ever the same. The only similarities here are Rick Ross and Cardi B are both rappers who admitted to drugging someone. The context, the intent, the time frame, the clarity of the words, the behavior before and after the admission are all entirely different, but extremely necessary to assess before you make a decision on what you think about these rappers. Now, I'm not saying they should be absolved of criticism, but if you're expecting rappers to be beacons of moral good, you're gonna be angry forever.
And that's true.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. That's definitely true.
And that's the reason why, like, most of the time, I always say, hey, if you don't like the genre, just don't listen to the genre. It's like, you can't say, oh, rap shouldn't be around. I'm always protest against rap. Just leave it alone.
True. Like,
just stop. Don't tune into it.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure you're gonna hear some things you don't agree with, you don't support, whatever the case may be. Just leave it at that. Because all the stuff you named earlier that the rappers talk about,
all crimes,
like, don't support it. Not at all. Not going to justify it. So leave it alone. Don't listen to their music.
Facts.
Tune out. Whatever they got going.
And y'all, and then when they start going to jail for it, don't be, oh man, free this person. No, they done made their money off of it. They talked about it. They boasted about it. Now it's time for the consequences. You can't say, free such and such. No, send their ass to jail, bro. They did the crime. They boast about the crime. We all know about the crime. Send their ass to jail, bro. Because if that was anybody else in the community that offended anybody else in the community, we'll be saying lock their ass up.
True.
And again, the only reason why Cardi, with Rick Ross situation, we don't know what Rick Ross has done. It was a rap lyric. Cardi openly admitted to doing crimes.
Mm-hmm.
Rick Ross, the way he got counseled, that effect should also be held against Cardi. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because both situations is horrible, but we can't necessarily say 100% that's what Rick Ross did. Was it a admission of guilt? I don't know, because Rick Ross always lied about everything. You know, you get what I mean?
I get what you're saying, but we can only take. But at the end of the day, something still came out your mouth. I feel like it's different. Like if it was like hearsay, somebody said that you did or said these things, but we have no evidence. We have nothing. We've never heard you say it. But you did say this. The lyrics still came out of your mouth. Like that shouldn't have even been on your mind.
No, I'm not saying it's.
No, I get what you're saying, but you just saying Cardi admitted to it.
Let me clarify. Not for you.
Go ahead.
For them. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying what Rick Ross said was not wrong.
Yeah.
He is wrong for saying it. What I'm saying is we don't know if that was a mission of guilt for him with his lyrics, but Cardi has had open admission of guilt. So she should be crucified the same way Rick Ross was.
She said open admission of guilt that she
literally
drugged and
robbed. We don't know what else she could be downplaying.
We don't know what else.
We don't know what Rick Ross have done, but we only know what
he said in his lyrics.
Yeah, and he has felt the attack. It didn't go as far as 100% what y'all wanted to.
Yeah.
But y'all did take a stance. But we also need to start taking a stance for everyone.
At the
everyone should have the same impact. You know what I'm saying? Because it's my bad. Go.
No, I'm about to say what kind of I ain't gonna say what bothers me because I'm gonna still But at the end of the day, it's kind of like this big uproar for a short period of time, and then people just forget about everything and
move on with their life
and just move on. So it's just kind of like no one really I'm not gonna say ever, but no one really, like the people that probably need to be held accountable, are held accountable because people, okay, well, nothing's done. Something new happened. So that's put on the back burner, put on, on the shelf, and everyone forgets about it. And then it'll come back up. Oh, damn, I forgot about that. No one really gets held accountable. Rick Ross, it was a protest, everything. He lost endorsements, but look at him. Look at him now.
Because at the end of the day, once you in that life, unless something tragic comes down and like on the Diddy situation, Rick Ross ain't gonna ever feel the effects of nothing y'all do. It's gonna take a situation like what Diddy's going through right now because 100% Diddy feeling it.
Yeah, and
he's
even
feeling it,
and even with Cardi, with the hate that she get online, I don't think even the hate that she gets online is because of things that she's admitted to. I think it's for other reasons. So it's just kind of
the biggest thing with the Cardi situation.
People really, I don't know.
She needs to shut up and stay offline. 100%.
Yeah, but
she talks too much anyway.
Yeah.
But hey, man, y'all spam us up, man. Let us know y'all thoughts about it in the comment section down below, man. But as always, I had to go by the name DJ the Kid. This is we are. We are.
Go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack and flip for my folks. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar.